So Sean, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
I was hoping you could maybe give us a history of the Bayou Church and then kind of where we are today and what led up to this exciting expansion for the church campus.
This church is all I know. I mean, this place is amazing. I literally grew up here. My father was called to be the pastor here in 1984. In the 80s and 90s, under my dad's leadership and for sure God's hand of blessing, the growth here exploded. The point isn't the buildings, like we don't come to worship the building, but it's a very important tool. It shapes the culture of our ministry, and we lost half of our campus in October of 2020. Hurricane Delta took one of our buildings, about 33,000 square feet, and just peeled it back like a can of sardines, the entire length of the building. Devastated the inside, messed up all the HVAC, soaked everything, was bending I-beams. And we knew that what appeared to be a setback was actually a setup from God to do something new. And we're gonna centralize the campus and make it not only new, but more efficient, more impactful, more influential, so we can continue to live out our mission of transforming lives in Acadiana.
That's exciting.
It is.
And I know when we were first approached, I recall being asked to come almost as a construction deal. The hurricane happened. We wanted to look at rebuilding the ministry building. And I think through conversation with your team and everybody, maybe we need to look into something else and maybe get you guys involved here to help us kind of reposition our thoughts and expand on to the building as opposed to just rebuilding something that's separated.
Yeah. After the building was destroyed, we knew we had to make some very wise decisions. And the decisions we were gonna make, we knew would have ripples for decades to come. And if we made some errors or some missteps, we're gonna be in trouble for a long time. And so we knew we needed to have someone who was an expert in the industry, who had tons of experience, who was a trustworthy company and organization that had good people and that weren't just in it for money or for business, but were truly trying to serve people. One of the CEOs in our church who runs Home Furniture they're a massive business, multiple locations. And he said, "You've got to talk to Kent." And I was like, "Tell me why." And he said, "Sean, we just lost a store in Lake Charles. Other places couldn't even get into town." He said Kent was there within 24 hours and helping us begin to rebuild that store. And he said their store was open months before any other furniture stores in the whole city. So it gave them this competitive advantage that was, there was no competition.
Right.
And it's because, he said, that Kent actually cares about what they do. And then I also talked to a bunch of churches in the area, and everyone I spoke to all said the same thing.
Yep.
Kent is dependable, they're reliable, they come in under budget, they do what they say they're gonna do, they're a joy to work with. From our first meeting, I remember thinking, we're in good hands. It's clear that Kent's trying to help us win. So to go back to your question that you asked about, we didn't know what our options were. When the building was destroyed, we thought, okay, well, I guess we're just gonna have to rebuild it as is. And so that's when we sat down with Kent and said, the first thing we need to do is dream. We need someone who can tell us that's unrealistic. No, this is a possibility. You have this many people, this is how many square feet you need. Adam came in, and the first thing he did was get an understanding of who we were, how we do ministry, what's our vision, how do you see the future, what's your style of ministry? He showed us a couple plans. One was, here's what it would look like if you again rebuilt the ministry center, like you refurbished it, you redesigned it, you poured a whole bunch of money into this 50-year-old building. And then he said, now I want to show you the dream option. And I said, before you show me the dream, just tell me how much more expensive it is. And he leaned in and he said, it's actually less expensive. And he explained, because of what he was able to do was to take the 33,000 square feet and redesign it more efficiently so it's technically less square footage than the building we had. And so this idea that we were able to go after our dream design layout of the campus and save money, save square footage, made us quite happy. We were very, very excited. It was so abundantly clear that this is where God had called us to do, was not to pour into what was, but instead to pour into what could be and what the future held. The plan really is to take the building that we lost, and take all the best parts of it and redesign it in a more efficient, more impactful, more influential way. And so because Kent understood what we needed, what we wanted, this building sets us up to accomplish our mission of transforming lives in Acadiana through Christ-centered relationships, literally for decades to come. So we're really, really excited about the building.
So Sean, in our next conversation, I kind of want to get more in depth into what this exciting expansion onto the building, centralizing it all, is going to look like.
Would love to.